What's our last 10 games? 3-7. That sounds about right.
Good job.
We're on a 4-game losing streak. Again, we're out of pitchers, though, so it's just like not an ideal situation. Iwakuma has a hurt shoulder and got popped in the knee by a baseball. Felix is out. Paxton is out. We can have baseball talk at the beginning of every episode. Because, I mean, that's what you tune into an anime podcast to listen to is sports.
I mean, if we were talking about that one baseball anime.
Oh, Cross Game? Because Cross Game's great. I mean, we could talk about Cross Game. Do you want to just, like, junk everything about this season and just watch Cross Game for the next year and a half?
Hey everyone, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm baseball.
You're not baseball. You may think you're a baseball.
Sure?
You're a screwball.
That's a bit on the nose, don't you think?
It works. So it's been a while.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's been, what, 6 months?
Has it really been that long? That's ridiculous. Please don't tell me that.
I think our last show went out into January. Quite a while. So what have you been up to, just in general?
Job stuff, crazy job stuff.
Job stuff.
Mostly.
Heard you started a gaming store.
Huh? Yeah, no. You can go buy stuff from me online.
Cool.
EsotericaGames.com. I'm probably going to start selling some Pokemon card singles, because why not?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have a bunch of my old cards. And a buddy gave me a bunch of his to sell, so.
Is that why you've got Pokemon card game written down here?
I mean, that's probably part of it, yeah. That and I've just been playing a lot.
Really?
Of work, and I ran a little league on TCGO.
TCGO.
Trading card game online. It's their online client.
I have not played TCGO. Did not know it existed till just now.
Yeah, no, it's online. It's good. You can buy packs in real life and also use them on the internet. They're not the same that you open in real life, but that means you get to open every pack twice.
Oh.
So it's actually really fun. I've got some good cards on there. For the league, I opened a GX, which are like the super broken, awesome cards. Mm-hmm. So that was dirty. Fun, though.
So you're corrupting the youth of today?
There are a bunch of the people who do the Hey Jake and Josh stuff and follow them. So, I mean,
cool.
I guess.
So I heard you and your wife recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
We did. We saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2, as did you.
I did. When did you see it? Recently?
2 nights ago, yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Right, it's fine. It's a good popcorn movie.
I liked it.
It's funny.
Mostly.
Yeah. No, it's good. Visuals are really good. The soundtrack's great. One too many anatomy jokes for my taste, but I mean, it's not too bad.
I thought the
it's more
third act
crass
was great.
than the original, I thought. Yeah, the third act was pretty sweet. The opening sequence was astoundingly amazing.
Although I do feel like they could have done with a little less Baby Groot.
I mean, that's probably fair.
Throughout the whole movie. Yeah, actually, a lot of my little tiny gripes were like, this just needs to be cut out. Like, nothing in the movie needed to be changed, but there were several bits that just needed to be, like, cut.
But no, it was overall pretty solid. I enjoyed it more than Annie did.
I sort of figured that would be the case, since most of what I thought were shortcomings were script-related.
Yeah, that's very true.
There were a lot of scenes where I felt like there was just a guy in the back during script writing going, hey, what if the audience doesn't understand what's going on?
Yeah, where basically all of Yondu's point is to just tell you exactly what the emotional beat is at any given moment. Yeah. It's like, do you see how it's about dads and families?
Yeah, I think the most egregious one of those, actually, I liked it at the start. And this is very slight spoiler, but not really. When Peter is making that ball of energy.
Oh.
And that's all he can make. And he tosses it to his dad.
It's very hard to tell if that's intended to be a joke or not. Because the entire audience at my viewing laughed, but I don't know.
So he made a ball and he tosses it to his dad and his dad tosses it back.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like,
and it's,
hey, that's kind of nice. It's like they're playing catch because it's no like father-son type deal.
Yeah.
But then the scene kept going.
Kept going? Yeah,
and
no,
going.
I know.
I'm like,
it's hard to know if it's intended to be a joke or not.
No, that wasn't the only time they did something like that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's true. That scene where Yondu gets out, that is his name, right? I'm not saying it wrong.
Which guy?
Where Yondu, the blue guy with the mohawk.
I think so.
Yeah. The one where he breaks out of jail with his arrow and the new fin is probably one of the best scenes ever.
Yeah, I really like that part.
Because it was super sweet.
That was nice. I think the only other thing I had that was like an issue with the movie was the just sudden, and this happened a lot. It wasn't, but the most egregious scene was some of the characters, get out of a harrowing situation. Like they've been chased and they finally lose their pursuers.
Yeah.
And then one guy turns to the other and basically says, hey, did I ever tell you about the time my parents didn't love me? Let me tell you all about that.
Well, I mean, it's important. It's important for that. It's important for you to know the theme of the movie, okay?
Yes.
Like, I mean, how are you going to know the theme unless a character just spells it out for you?
Yeah.
I was a lot happier with Gamora and Nova's plot in this one and how they actually had characters and talked to one another instead of the first movie where they had like 6 lines apiece and they just sort of told you they hate Thanos instead of actually like telling you why.
Yeah. I did enjoy
just
that.
like, yeah, we're betraying Thanos because Thanos is a bad guy because it says so.
Turns out.
Because if you know Marvel, he's a bad guy, you guess. Mm-hmm. If you don't know Marvel, he's kind of a bad dude, we suppose.
He was mean to us as kids.
It just sort of, like in the first one, it doesn't really explore that very well, but it did that way better in the second to make it Thanos actually sound like a bad guy.
Right.
It's funny that Thanos is doing everything, all of this, because he wants to woo the avatar of love and the avatar of death in the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's very true.
Who is the
At least
avatar
we
of death
assume.
in the Marvel universe?
Death.
Because
It's just death.
because
It's
in-
just her name.
in DC, Death is a pretty hot chick, but in Marvel,
Yeah, no, still
Isn't-
pretty hot.
isn't Death-
really very similar?
I thought Death in the Marvel is actually the Grim Reaper.
It kind of is, yeah, but she's also a lady.
Now
I don't know.
Now I have to Google it. Gotta look it
Try
up.
not to worry about too much. I'm sure it'll bring up a billion things.
Marvel.wiki.
There's a
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
She's a looker.
yeah. I mean, she's gonna have a couple different forms, but yeah, she's Thanos is in love with her. So
I guess you like what you like. Some guys like skeletal.
he's just
Crazy
trying to
people.
impress Death. Yeah. From what I know, I'm not super up on all this nonsense, but you know, you do what you can.
You watched anything else lately?
No, I haven't watched much anime at all, which is a bit of a shame because I know like the new What's It is out.
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, and I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah, I'll probably wait till the end of that airing to watch that.
Yeah, and probably just marathon it. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea.
Because apparently, when I watched the first season, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't fantastic, but it's pretty good.
It's animated really well, but yeah.
But apparently, if you watched it week to week, and I could see how this would be, it
Ingram
was
had that problem.
super dragging,
Repetitive.
really boring,
Yeah.
bad pacing issues.
Yeah, Ingram complained about that all the time because, like, at the beginning of every episode, they give you like a half-hour sequence of what happened, like last week and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
I know it has like some weird pacing issues. I saw the new Non Biyori got announced today, and I'm excited about that because I
still
really
need to
like
watch the first one.
and the second one, which is the first one again, but slightly different.
Right. You watch
Yeah.
those.
Either way, they're both really good and funny. So
One show we did watch, I guess it was winter season, now that I think about it, was the Dragon Maid show.
oh yeah, I saw a lot of like ads and little clips of that. It looks silly.
It is silly, but a good kind of silly.
Yeah.
Wife enjoyed it, mostly because she likes dragons and the little dragon girl is adorable.
That's true. I did not manage to see Your Name when it was in theaters, so I'll have to watch that at some point.
My Name?
I missed it. Yeah, Your Name. It's the top grossing animated film in Japan of all time.
Really? Is that actually its name?
Yeah, it's called Your Name.
Oh. I was trying to think
It's by
of
the guy who did Voice of a Distant Star, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh.
Yeah.
He actually managed to get a theatrical release for once?
Yeah, and it beat out Spirited Away. It's the top grossing animated film in Japan ever now.
Good for him.
And it came to the States. It's supposed to be super fantastic. I've just not seen it.
Wow. For a guy that started in his garage.
I know, right?
This thing
And
says
he's like now the new Miyazaki. Yeah,
it's
no, the guy's
grossed
great.
$350 million.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And Funny distributed it here in the States to a theatrical release, but I never managed to catch it. I kept meaning to, but just never really found the time.
I did get the time to watch Fifth Element in theaters.
I saw you talk about that, yeah.
That's pretty great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Every time I watch it, it just gets better.
Multipass, et cetera, et cetera.
So here's a good question for you. Has
Sure.
nothing to do with anime, but we are
Yeah.
discussing Fifth Element, and how many acts does it have?
You know, I haven't seen it in so long. Let me see. I mean, in theory, it should have 3, right?
You'd think.
But let me see how many distinct parts it has. It kind of has...
So we don't count the beginning at the temple.
Okay, so, I mean, if we're going to say, like, play act sort of deals.
Sure.
Then I guess it's got let's see here, 1, 2, 3, probably about 4.
That's how many I counted, not counting the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably a bit more similar to Kishu Tenketsu, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it is. Huh. Yeah.
So you can count 4 or 5. You can maybe tease out 6.
Yeah, it is structured odd. Of course, so is if you really sit down and watch Empire Strikes Back, it's real weird.
So I get this feeling like ones that are really, really enjoyable to watch don't fit into the 3-act thing. At least for me. Maybe
some do or don't. I mean, it depends on how you really want to describe these things in 3 acts. Because like even Kisho Tenketsu, you can put into a 3-act kind of. It just sort of depends.
And with Fifth Element, 2 of those acts, there are, I think, 4 different narratives happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's a strange movie. I mean, again, it's kind of like Empire Strikes Back. It's not put together in a way you would think would work, but it works really well. Yeah.
Yeah. How about them witches?
Well, I do like witches.
Do you like witches?
A whole lot. I do. A lot. I'm a big fan of witches.
Well then, you are in for a treat, although you've already watched this.
I've seen it like 4 or 5 times, and it's still a treat every time I watch it, because every time I watch it, first off, it's amazing, and second off, it's got witches.
It does have witches. Many witches.
And I love
it's
witches.
Even in the name.
I mean, it is. At least one little witch, it claims. And it does not disappoint on that promise.
So yeah, this season, we sort of decided to, instead of doing a series, we've decided to watch a bunch of 1 to 2 episode OVAs. And the first one
omakase?
is... Yep. And the first one is Little Witch Academia, which is my favorite. It's fantastic. And it's on Netflix. And you should go watch it before you listen to the rest of this.
I mean, that's very true. Yeah, because we can't do it justice. Because most of the things that make it great are the animation being phenomenal.
Yeah, there's
more frames in the first, like, 5... There's more frames in the first minute of this than most shows that are currently airing on TV.
So the show opens, and the whole opening sequence is fantastic. And it just gets better from there.
Yeah, it's like, look, we have a frame rate. Look what we're doing in our spare time. Deal with it.
It's like in the first minute you have full frame rate, amazing magic, everything going on that's fully animated, no CG crap as far as you can tell, and fully orchestrated soundtrack.
Oh, it more fully realizes its world in the first 5 minutes than like all of the Harry Potter books do.
Yeah, it pretty much does.
And like, I mean, it's not that Harry Potter's bad, but I mean, that world is not well constructed. It falls apart like a wet tissue if you look at it for more than 5 seconds. But this one at least gets around it by being like, hey, yeah, the magical world is like real and next to our world, and like everyone's okay with that.
In fact, they use it for entertainment and no one questions this. It's just a thing that happens now.
And I like how in the second, they further expand on why they can't just use magic all the time everywhere. Yeah. And it's good. It's like, okay, this makes sense. You've thought about this for longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, so they open on basically this big crowd, a bunch of little kids. It's clearly a show for little kids, and it's basically a one-woman Sentai show.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Japanese Sentai shows, the live ones, where it's just like kind of hokey and goofy and great and over the top and phenomenal.
Yeah, but this redheaded witch is basically just using her magic to entertain the kids. She summons a giant monster, then kills him for the entertainment of others. It's great.
Well, I guess that's everything. Everything you just said is correct. Yes. But that's not.
Well, every time I watch it, I do question, like, now did she make that creature or did she summon that creature?
Or did she, or is this one of those things where it's like these creatures are attacking the real world and this is her way of covering up that this is happening?
You know, any of those could be the case.
Any of these could be the case.
I don't know. We never find out, and that's fine. But at the end, you know, all the little kids are really thrilled with this, especially one little girl who has very distinctive hair, who we will follow throughout the rest of the show.
Meet her in a second, yeah. Episode, movie, experience, animation.
Yeah, but I really like the thing when the witch defeats this monster. There's fireworks going off, and I really like the reflection in the little girl's eye, because immediately you just know everything you need to know about this little girl's backstory, even though the scene was not focused on her, really.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how well this, like, well, a lot of anime these days, the animation is kind of second to the storytelling because, I mean, that's just TV in general.
Yeah.
What's going on screen is secondary to the dialogue. But, like, Trigger especially, and especially when it gives an OVA format, it can be much more cinematic in that, like, the actual, like, animation is telling the story. Like, through what's going on screen, without anybody saying a word, you already know what is going on here.
And this particular
because there's very little dialogue in the beginning. This whole sort of prologue before the title card, there's like no dialogue that says anything in it, really.
And yet you know everything.
Yeah, but you know everything is going on. You instantly are pretty good with the setting. You know sort of the mood of your main character. You know her motivation. And it's just really good storytelling.
Yep.
And what is the name of this witch that is doing the stage play?
Shiny Chariot.
Shiny Chariot, who fires her, of course, world famous
Shiny Arc. So we get our title card, and then we cut to an academy of witches, just full of witches everywhere.
Yeah, just witches. No warlocks, no wizards, just witches.
Pure witches.
So it's basically heaven for me.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way. No weird going on. These are pure witches.
I would like to point out that this scene is probably one of the best character introduction scenes I've ever seen.
Totally. It's super good.
Because we're introduced to several characters.
Yeah, all at once.
And we know well done. All of their backstories without being told them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also does a great job just showing you the character designs of every character in this show. Tells you all you need to know about the characters as well. Yes. Like just these quick sketches of them, you know exactly. There's the nerdy girl with short hair and big glasses. There's kind of the ditz. There's the preppy girl.
And during these establishing shots, we get some of the backstory, not backstory, but some more world building of you know how the magic in this world works.
Yeah, which is we have a big rock, but
it's a sorcerer's stone. It's thing. It's all explained.
It's also nice that this classroom is pretty diverse. It's already more diverse than Harry Potter World in one shot. It's like right in front of Akko, who is our main character. There's two little Indian girls, and there's a lot of different skin tones in just this one shot.
Right.
And it's like, oh, good job. You did it. This wasn't hard. You don't have to be J.K. Rowling and be like, there's probably a Jewish kid somewhere. Singular.
Maybe.
In all of Hogwarts. Maybe. Just the one.
We keep him hidden away.
He's there. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, just the way these characters are introduced. Like the nerdy girl, who we find out later is named Lotte. She actually introduces our main character by trying to get her to wake up because she's dozing off. So she's calling her name. That's the only reason we know her name.
Yep. And Miss Cavendish, which is a great name, instantly.
Miss Cavendish, who's the class snoot. She's the preppy girl.
What I like about Cavendish in all of this, and the second one, is she's a little more just sort of tsundere preppy kid, rather than just being like a Draco Malfoy.
Yes.
Where they're just like super one note flat character. Like she's honestly, she's good, and later on in the show, you see that like she actually does care about others. And
yeah, but when we start, it's very, I know all the things. Like she actually is very good at witchery.
But she's not a flat character that's just better than everyone else and is snooty about it.
Right. She's not just the stuck-up Hime type. She doesn't even have Hime hair.
Is she a Hime? No. Well, she's got a bit of that.
She has the attitude of one.
Yeah, she's more of a traditional Western snoot, mean girl sort of deal.
So, Akko snoozes off, gets shown up because she's a ditz, and Diana's much better, Diana Cavendish. Yeah. As soon as that scene's over, we cut to the fact that the girl who's sitting next to her, who's clearly her friend, is definitely her friend, and Akko has another friend.
And you instantly know her character by just her design, where she looks like an Addams Family.
She looks Addams Family. She looks calm, cool, and collected. She's already like swabbing Akko's nose with something, so she's some sort of herbalist.
Yeah, she's some apothecary potion witch, and spoilers, she's an apothecary potion witch who is awesome and is very morbid. So again, like exactly, because even her robes, when you see her in full robes, do the like traditional like Morticia style.
I have to admit, I think Susie is probably my favorite character.
Susie is great. Susie, however it actually is no one really knows. Good.
But we know that she's an herbalist and she's a practical joker.
Yes.
She instantly changes Akko's nose into a big pointy witch nose.
Yeah.
Which actually suits her quite well, which is kind of funny.
It does, especially with how cartooned this show is.
Right.
I also like how it's not done in it's not done in a KyoAni animation style, which is really nice. It's not in a KyoAni.
They don't have any noses at all.
Hyper anime. It's not what you think of when you think of modern anime. It's not done in that style. It's a much more fluid animation.
Yeah.
A much different. It's still in the Japanese school, obviously, but I think part of it is just that it's Trigger, and Trigger is willing to go nuts.
2013. Yeah.
Yeah. They're much more willing to play than stick with what's been established.
That's true.
They will experiment.
Good for them. Bravo, I say. So the scene continues, and Akko explains that she's not here to join the ranks of smelly old witches. She wants to be like Shiny Chariot, which you as the viewer already knew. And she says this very out loud and very boisterous because that's how she do. And in walks Diana and her cronies. Those cronies, I swear.
Oh, I like them. They are traditional mean girls. They are very one note.
Yes.
But they're well done. They're well done lackeys.
I do like the not so subtle framing of this blue-haired witch anytime Shiny Chariot is mentioned.
It's definitely Shiny Chariot, but definitely not wink, wink, hint, hint, say no more, say no more. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's done in a way that's like, if you're a kid and you're watching this, because this is very kid-friendly. If you're a kid that's watching this, it's like, But it's
a good mystery for them. But as an adult, you're like, oh, I know how. I know visual storytelling. I did it.
It's right there.
It's like when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out and people on like Twitter and Tumblr would like show baby Groot and they're like, well, it's not a spoiler. It doesn't give away anything. It's like, yes, but I know how storytelling works. And if there's a big Groot at the beginning and a small Groot at the end, I know he's going to sacrifice himself because I'm not an idiot.
Well, that or he reproduced. There are only two options here.
Yes, it's like, I'm not stupid.
But very quickly, the dominance hierarchy is established in this story.
Well, not only that, just the framing here, because Diana is on the second story of this little thing and has to physically come down to Akko's level to have a conversation with her.
And then she leers over her.
Yeah.
Low angle shot. Everything is great about this.
Well, and we instantly know their class and this, that, and the other thing, but we also learn Shiny Chariot's place in this world, where she is looked down upon by actual wizards because she did.
Well, you find out here that people like Diana look down on her, and you've sort of figured that she's snooty. But yeah, later on we find out that no, everybody sort of looks down on her.
Yeah, she's an entertainer. She's not a real witch.
Yeah, more like an illusionist. A magician is someone who does tricks for money. So then we cut straight to broom lessons, which is pretty great.
Akko is definitely not a Mary Sue. She's not good at anything.
No, she just acts like it.
Yeah, technically it's more of the next scene where you get a little interesting tidbit about the world, but here too.
But here you sort of get a hint of that because we get this warning. I like this warning about show-offs.
Yeah.
The teacher's like, okay, everyone's going to fly now on the grounds. No showing off.
Also, the design of the flight instructor witch is so good.
She's got goggles and she looks kind of like a bowling pin. It's pretty great.
Yes, she's got a great character design and it's awesome.
We need to talk more about character design later when the dragon shows up. But
and how its character design is awesome and how every character design in this entire show is amazing.
Yes, even the background characters. But all the witches sort of jump off the ledge because they're on this very high tower and they're all to get across to the other side, and Akko steps up. She's visibly shaken and she's like, I don't really want to go. And then she gets kicked out of the nest and down she goes.
Well, what's good about this, and just like the first 3 scenes in general, introducing Akko as a character is each one tells you sort of a different aspect about her real quick, right? Where she's not great at academics. She's single-minded in why she's here. And in this one, we see that she's not great at she's not very good at, she's very amateurish at controlling her magic.
Yeah.
Like throughout this scene, you see that she actually has it, and it's pretty powerful because she like whips her broom around this way and that because she can't quite control it. But I mean, it's going crazy. It's not like a weak magic. She doesn't have no magic. She just can't quite harness it in yet.
What I really like is if you're viewing it for the first time during the lesson scene, you might just get the impression that she's just lazy. Like maybe she's a sandbagger a little bit, but here it's pretty clear she's not actually capable at being as lazy or self-sure as she is. Like there's nothing to back up her boisterous nature. She's just boisterous.
She's very excited about being a witch, and she's very happy to be a witch, but she's not particularly good at it. Mm-mm. But she's not like miserable failure at it. She's a
tryhard, basically.
Yeah, kind of. And here in this next scene where we go into their room, and this is a great shot, especially with Lot's desk, which has a laptop on it. I never noticed that before. I like that.
I don't know if that's a laptop or like a comm pack.
Her little flame is already sleeping in the skull. That's adorable. Yes, hold on.
I have to go back.
Screen. Hang on. So here you go. So there's definitely a laptop on the desk, and the little flame sprite is sleeping in the little skull lantern that's on her desk. This is a great desk because, again, it's another visual thing that lets you know so much about the world and so much about the personality of the characters in like one shot. I didn't notice this. And also, hold on.
There's a tiny shiny chariot hat on, I can only assume is Akko's section.
Yeah, it's going to be Akko's section. But, okay, so from that, I want you to look to your left, and you see the elephant?
Yeah.
Okay, go one up from that, and you see a little spritzer bottle, right?
Right.
What's right down from there?
It's cactus.
Not one, but two. Our cactus is back.
Cactus Kun, you're back.
This is Cactus Watch. It is back. They exist.
Unfortunately, they do not have speaking parts. At least not in this one.
By the way, yeah, we're back in their dorm room.
Just panning across this, you get the desk, which is an insight into all their personalities. But you also find out potentially why they are all friends to begin with. They're all roommates.
Yeah, they're all roommates, and we find out, if not in this one, in the next one, that they're all they're different kinds of slight goof ups.
Yes,
they're kind of the out crowd.
But you sort of got that to begin with back in the in the cafeteria, where they're sort of huddled together, and everyone just sort of looks down at them, framed as a group.
Yeah, exactly. They're a group, and they're not quite outcasts. They're not like mockeries of the school, but I mean, they're kind of the nerdy kids. They're different. But what we learn here is we find out that it's Akko's first time on a broom. So this is another one of these weird things where it's like there is a wizarding culture and an outside culture, a muggle culture, if you will, even though that term definitely sounds like a slur. That Akko is definitely from not the wizard side of this world,
right,
but does have inborn magical talent, which is really interesting. It's sort of the Hermione, but working a little better, a good fish out of water sort of deal.
Yeah. And what I really like is, she's talking about her ambitions and such and her inspiration. And she actually has like a childhood pinup poster of the Shiny Chariot show on her wall.
Yeah.
So I really like the fact that she has this big worn out poster. Like, it's rough around the edges. She's clearly had it forever. And her friends are like, this again, because clearly she won't shut up about it. So we do find out, finally, Sushi's real name. Because up until now, both of her friends have not had names.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just been Akko.
So we've known Akko, we've known Diana. But up until now, if it's the first time watching, you don't really notice that they don't have names. You're like, oh, they're her friends, and they're very distinctive. I don't need their names.
Yeah, they give you so much character for each character in such a short amount of time that it's really good.
It's beside the point.
But yeah, this is also where we get like great information that like Shining Chariot is not looked well upon by anybody in the witchy world,
not
in the
even
magical
the
realm,
other students,
because she's just like a show for kids, especially for like the not actually magic kids from the quote unquote real world. And this is also where we get it's like, oh yeah, Akko she calls herself a primitive witch. I didn't hear the Japanese enough to know exactly what she calls herself.
I suspect it's probably the same. So then we cut to, I guess, the next day or sometime soon, where there is a new test. It's not just flying brooms. This time it's treasure hunting.
And the sound effects here are great in the transition.
As well, it's not only that, but I really like the explanation, because you do have to have a bit of exposition here about what's going on. And we have the totally not Shining Chariot witch explaining what's going on. And she's using a blackboard with basically what amounts to a dungeon crawler on it.
Yeah, it's so great.
And then it's clearly lampshaded by one of the characters, who's basically like, I didn't think this was going to be a Dragon Caller JRPG.
Yeah. I like it because I also like how it's an animated blackboard. That's a good bit of, another little good bit of world building where it's just like, yes, we have magic and we're using it for just mundane things that would make sense that we would use it for.
Come to think about it, I mean, spoiler if you hadn't caught it yet, but she's clearly Shining Chariot, who uses magic to entertain others. Of course she's going to do it silly like that.
Oh, yeah. Also true. It's another good bit of like foreshadowing and information about characters dumping on you real well.
But we get this nice shot of all the students who look kind of bored, like, yeah, we've done this before, whatever. And we sort of scroll over to Akko, who is on fire to go.
Well, because she's gonna beat Diana.
Oh, yeah.
And show how real witches do.
She's going to show everyone. I don't know if, did she actually say Diana at this point? Because I don't know if their rivalry was like solidified by then.
No, I don't think so. Just show off a chance to show off her power is what she says.
So as they're walking downstairs, we get a shot of Sushi in her robes, which is pretty awesome.
Which again, just like tells you exactly what she is like.
She has no arms. She keeps her arms inside all the time. And it tapers down around her legs.
Also, at some point, we're going to have to talk about how their wand design in the show is phenomenal.
But yeah, their wand designs are really fantastic.
Yeah, they flip out and they've got a little fork on the end, and it's just... And they're like little attachments that we're going to see later where you can like make it into like a broom and stuff. Oh, it's very good.
But yeah, we see here explicitly that Lotte has like a little flame spirit in this skull lantern she's carrying around.
Yes,
and she can control it.
So cute. It's like a familiar and it's adorable.
I guess that's way more explained in the second installment of this.
Yeah, because in this you kind of get that certain witch classes, like Akko is just sort of a witch, and you really see that Susie is definitely a potions witch, but you don't really get what Lot's deal is.
Yeah. And Akko's is just loud.
Excitable witch.
Loud witch.
Excited. Infinite excite.
But she looks up to her right, and suddenly she sees, quote, a monster.
It's adorable.
It's just this widow jelly thing with legs and some leaves on his head. And he's just like, oh no, I've been seen. I want to run away. And Akko's like, you gonna die.
You gonna get it.
And so she gives it a taste of her magic, which knocks it off the wall.
It's so cute. It's just like a little puff of, it's just a little puff of like pink magic and smoke, just enough to like annoy. It's more effective than pink sugar heart attack, but not by much. Meanwhile, right after this little monster falls down the stairs and everyone has to go running after it, we cut to Diana Cavendish, and she's fighting a monster, and it is slightly more impressive,
yes,
I'd have to say. Just
several stories tall.
Just a little bit
more
impressive.
Looks like a giant insect. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it looks like a bug from nuts.
Blue Gender?
No, but that's good. Starship Trooper, there we go.
Yeah,
looks like Starship Trooper bug. By the way, she blasts this sucker with real magic.
Yeah, and her cronies are like, Diana, maybe we should go back now. I mean, we've got like all this mithril and gold stuff. And
hold on. You can't pass up the best name drop here, where they say they have a Cimmeril ring.
I saw that. Yeah,
it makes me happy.
It's fine. We got one of those.
We just have these like she's like, those are like common everyday treasures. We're after the legit stuff. I'm sure there's a name drop in this dagger, but I don't know what it is. Wait, I have the sum total of human knowledge at my disposal. I can look up this reference and see what it is, because now I'm curious. It's like a Galvaron or something. I don't know. It's a mithril, which everybody knows, and a Cimmeril ring, which is if you're...
Mithril mail, a Galvorn knife, and even a Cimmeril ring.
Yeah, let's see what the Galvorn knife is. I'm sure that's a reference. Is another Lord of the Rings reference. I should have known that, but I don't.
Shining black metal devised by the master craftsman L.
Huh. Well, there you go. That's not one I knew. It's from Unfinished Tales, so that would be why. I know most references to Lord of the Rings, but that is one that has escaped me. And of course, it has it in every other language too, because of course it would.
So what I really like about this particular scene is we just got Akko being super excited to like prove herself. And then we cut over to Diana, who we've been shown is like the total opposite. But here she's like, I'm going to prove myself. Yeah. It's like...
She wants to show that she's good and that witches are like important and powerful and to be feared. And what's good here is that's also... I mean, you don't know how much has been backhoed and how much world building went into this. But the second OVA, the longer one, sort of shows that that's a good motivation for her.
Right.
Because, again, witches outside of like certain pockets of magical energy like can't actually do much. So it's
but
a cute little thing there.
Even that aside, it's like Akko has been inspired to be spectacular. And here we find Diana is also wanting to be spectacular.
Yeah, like, she's driven. She's driven.
A spectacle.
I'm not sure about that, and I'm not sure about spectacle, but I mean, she wants to be the real deal.
But anyway, next we get the best joke in the entire episode.
They get menaced by an ushi.
Yes. As Diana is talking about how we're just going to go through the whole thing, we're going to kill all the monsters and get all the loots, she turns to her cronies and is like, how can you be afraid of this place? Quit cowering, blah, blah, blah. And her two cronies suddenly get very scared and start going, ushi, 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 ushi. Which is funny because ushi means cow.
That's true.
But also because they're scared and they can't get it fully out, ushiro means behind you.
Oh, that's good.
So she turns around and is like, oh, it's a minotaur. Crap.
That's a good pun.
It is a really good pun. I like that pun.
Also, the minotaur design is also really good. I like how actually human-like it is and how top-heavy its design is.
Well, he's very muscular.
Yeah, I know.
So Akko is running around. She hears screaming and is like, ooh, time for me to go save someone because I'm good at that.
Yeah, sure you are, Akko. You can do it.
And she runs in and finds that Diana is actually in a very defensive position.
A Dai Pinchy, which is my favorite type of Pinchy.
A Diana Pinchy.
Ooh, even better.
And the Minotaur is menacing over them. And Akko just serves as basically a distraction.
Yeah, because she uses her sweet pink sugar heart attack and just kind of blinks him in the eye.
Yeah, she's not even looking and just...
Plinks him.
Yeah, very luckily hits him in the eye. And Diana uses this opportunity...
Uses unlimited to cast unlimited blade works on this cow.
I should point out, there's a bunch of dead people, lots of skeletons with swords on them.
Lots of knights.
That's where I would send a bunch of 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, I mean this seems fine.
It's okay.
Fine. To be fair, how many basilisks were roaming around Hogwarts? They had stairs that tried to kill their students there, all in the name of whimsy. At least this is an honest to goodness dungeon that they're going into.
This is true. Diana throws all these swords into the Minotaur, which just makes him mad.
Serves, of course, because that's how this joke works.
And here's where we find out how amazing Sushi is. Because she just sort of wanders up and is like, excuse me, Mr. Cow. Could you open your mouth, please? So he bends down and roars. Screams at her. And she very gleefully opens a bottle and pours it in his mouth.
That's because sushi faces are the best faces. And the cow then melts.
Holy crap, how horrifying.
What's great is one of Diana's lackeys just full on throws up.
Even Diana is like, oh. And then the shot of Sushi laughing afterwards is like,
it's so good.
Oh,
it works too well.
No, she's a sadist.
Yeah, no, she's great.
She's like, oh, I guess it was too strong after he melted and then his blood became acid and ate through the floor.
Yeah. Diana uses the newfound portal to go further down into the dungeon to find even better treasure by attaching little broom attachments to the end of their wand so they can treat that as like a parachute so they can float down. So
this is essentially where the rivalry officially begins. Like before it was just intimidation. Yep. This is definitely rivalry. Like Akko has got it in her head. Where we get some her. I'm going to best her.
We also get some more payoff for Akko doesn't know how to fly a broom here.
Because she doesn't have one, and now she has to go find a new broom. Because
and no one brought brooms because, well, she's not very good at it anyway, so why would you need it?
So Diana and her two cronies go downstairs.
And holy nut, these backgrounds are like He-Man levels of great.
Yeah, like this is below the actual labyrinth, and it's just cave upon cave upon cave. Like they have exited the labyrinth and have entered a whole new thing.
And entered they exited labyrinth and entered Dark Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But no, these are like He-Man quality backgrounds. They are very good. And I know He-Man does not have great animation, but its backgrounds are spectacular.
Now, do you mention He-Man because the coffin they land in front of looks kind of like Skeletor?
Does it?
Top of it does.
Let's see another shot of it. Let me see. That's not terribly Skeletor.
Well, they find
maybe a little. It's got kind of a hood thing going
Iron
on.
Maiden with kind of a skeleton with top on top.
And
covered in
spell
seals.
Tags.
And Diana, full of hubris, is like, I bet there's something good in there. I'm going to get it.
And she's going to get it, and it's adorable.
Well, I really like the camera angles here because this thing opens and suddenly we get this really low camera angle with smoke billowing out. And something with glowing eyes comes out, feet stamping.
Big claw.
And then
it's an adorable little dragon. Look at this dragon.
And then it roars.
It's so cute.
It's like,
well, it coughs. It coughs. It's too cute. So her cronies do what any self-respecting witch do, and they try to zap it.
They try to blast it with their magics. And guess what, guys? It eats the magics.
It does. It literally eats a little fireball and becomes in a cute little bipedal dragony guy and still doesn't die. So they're like, oh, the solution to it eating our magic is to shoot more magic at it.
And Diana thinks about this for a bit and is like, oh, actually,
this is
guys?
a bad plan. Maybe not do this. I also like how it is shot in such a way where even if you haven't quite figured out what's going to happen to it yet, you kind of know because of how you see the magic not just shooting at it, but flowing into it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but like visually, you see the magic sort of like swirl and loop into it. It is very visually leading of what's happening. Because the first time it's shocked by lightning, it looks like it may have done something. And then when it eats the fire, it goes into its mouth and you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, it's a dragon. But like when they pull back to shoot at it, it's just visually very telling because it does a zoom in into the dragon that's like, this is okay. The dragon's not going to care about this. It is not shown in such a way that it is going to hurt it in any way.
So when we cut over to Akko, she and the other two are in the storeroom looking for brooms so they can get downstairs. And look what Akko finds. She finds a thing with some 7 gems on it that looks very familiar.
Well, I think what's more important is what Susie finds, which is a Twilight Sparkle doll whose head pops off and bugs spill out of it.
Mini maggots. Lots of maggots. Magical maggots?
Mini magical maggots.
Yay! But before they can do anything, a dragon comes up through the floor, which is very surprising.
That does happen.
That's not a normal thing that goes on here.
For Dagrons, yeah, that's true.
And he blasts a hole in the ceiling and just goes on up. And out of the hole from whence he came, the other 3, Diana and the 2 cronies, come crawling out, very disheveled.
Do you want to talk about the dragon's design now, or?
Yes, because he's pretty awesome already. So he was a cute little red thing from basically Mulan. And now he's
very similar.
Big thing with like side mandibles, which may or may not have additional eyes on the end of them.
Yeah, okay. I read them as horns, but that's an okay reading.
It could be both.
It's very serpentine. It's very shoulder heavy and very serpentine. It's not like a red D&D dragon, but it's a good mix between like a Western style dragon and like a long.
I feel like he's sort
dragon.
of salamander-ish.
Yeah, he's very salamander in a traditional fantasy salamander creature sort of way.
So Diana comes up out of this hole, and I kind of really like how she is very off balance character-wise as she does so, because she's like not in control. And as soon as she realizes Akko and the other 2 are here, suddenly she's like, yeah, back there, nothing happened. We're good. Everything's fine. But Diana takes the other 2 wands and is like, you know what? I'm going to go clean up this mess. So
we're going to combine all your brooms into one mega broom to make us go whoosh.
Which is the thing that you can do, which is cool.
Evidently.
Akko is like, now, hang on a second. I think I need to help with this. And Diana's like...
Well, not just that. I think one of the interesting things here is how willing Diana is to admit her mistake, which is good. Because, again, this is one of those things that really shows you that she's not a super one-dimensionally flat character. Because she's like, oh, yeah, no, I screwed up. I released it, so I need to take responsibility and go help fix this. Also, the little knight helmet that Akko ends up on after she got eaten by a dragon is pretty sweet.
So upstairs, all the other witches are like, oh, here's all our loot. They're comparing notes, and suddenly big red dragon. Not good. Teacher tries to stop it with the big locks on the doors, but all the students are like, ooh, dragon. Hey, guess what we could do?
It's stuck. Let's shoot it with magic.
And it gets bigger. And I should know, every time it gets bigger, its design changes.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
It gets more and more amazing. It doesn't just upsize.
Now the battle is basically set. We get some things, some strategery about the teacher and Diana are going to go distract the dragon. And Akko is charged with go make sure that the Sorcerer's Stone is like put somewhere else because it's out in the open and dragon might
because
want
because when you're skipping over the best part when Akko pops up and sees Sensei and Diana there because she's like, hey, there may be a dragon, but you know what I found?
It's shiny rod.
I found the shiny rod.
It has to be worth a ton of points.
And this is where you get more of, she's definitely shiny chariot.
I do like how the implication is she threw her stick downstairs in the big...
Because it kind of stopped working or something, maybe?
Yeah.
Also, Akko's broom is like put together out of like 3 other brooms that she's kind of tied together.
And this is a tiny point, but I will point this out. When Sensei gets a look at this shiny rod, because of the lighting, the bottoms of her eyes become red.
Yep.
And the top of her eyes are blue. And Shiny Chariot has red eyes.
Yep. And red hair.
Just saying.
Yep.
Not foreshadowing.
It's really good. It's well done.
But it's also lighting. So, could be one, could be the other. The dragon is now burning up the place. And Akko is like,
burninating the countryside. Burninating the peasants.
Look at my rod. I got this rod.
Burninating all the people.
Not the people yet.
Oh, that's true.
He hasn't started doing that yet.
But yeah, Sensei goes out with and she Jurassic Parks the dragon.
It's like, here, follow me.
She even like waves the flare. She's ready to go.
But unlike Jurassic Park,
she does not get et.
Well, the dragon sort of eventually
gets bored. It's like, oh, look at that giant shiny rock made of pure magic over there. Maybe I'll go eat that instead.
That looks more delicious. So meanwhile, we do get the all for one for all type deal where, all the friends get the now hero to the end goal, which is nice. I like it. It shows that her friends are willing to sacrifice for each other, even though they're just roommates.
Yeah.
We also finally get Lotte's name.
Yeah.
Up at the top. Lotte.
Lotte. Latte. Lot. Whatever her name is.
Sushi does try to poison the dragon with super poisons, but again, since they're magic,
I guess they're magic
bigger.
And they work. I mean, to be fair, like this is good. This isn't like they used more magic at it, because this is at least like a different form of magic. Maybe it will actually work.
And now the dragon is super ghastly.
Yeah, and breathes fire at her, and we get a sweet shot of a toasted Sushi before she goes down
with frizzy hair.
And now the dragon is in its final form.
But Lotte does get her up to the top, but she sort of passes out once she gets there.
They crash into the top. Also, she loses her glasses, and as we all know, a character can't see a thing without their glasses.
It's true. The Akko runs over to her and wants to know if she's all right, which is when we finally get her name, Lotte. The teacher does show up for a moment. You're like, okay, all is saved. Sensei's here, but Dragon is like, nope.
Nope. And tail whips her. But also the shiny rod starts reacting real crazy with the Sorcerer's Stone and basically just starts sucking up Sorcerer's Stone energy like nuts.
It's like a lot of energy for no good reason is going into this thing because magic.
Yeah, because the sensei even asks for the staff. She's like, oh, throw me the staff. I'll fix this. And then nope. She didn't follow dragon rules. You're supposed to approach dragons from the side, otherwise you'll get cleaved by the tail.
Yep.
Come on. You're going to get knocked into the whelps, and this is just not going to end well for anyone.
But Dragon's about to eat the stone, and Akko turns around and shoots the stone out of the dragon's mouth and notices, oh, wait a minute.
Wait, I can use the shiny rod.
Use this thing?
Way to go to me.
Huh. Change of plans. And she runs, grabs the stone, and leaps off the tower.
And she says, shiny rod, become a broom.
Which I love this shot because
it does not.
We get the trope of the heroes suddenly realizing that they are, quote, the one, but it's immediately subverted by the rod basically letting her fall to her death.
And it's a good cut. There's just a good little smash cut to just right to a sad face of why it didn't work. So she does the next best plan, which is shoot magic at the ground real hard. So she flies a little bit.
And she lands on the dragon, which mostly works. I mean, she can hang on to the little spines coming off the dragon.
While the dragon chases the stone further down.
So we get some action flight scenes, which are pretty awesome because wind is whipping everywhere.
And then she remembers the voice of Shiny Chariot who said,
believing is magic.
Yeah, as long as you believe in yourself, that's the real magic.
And then this giant stone comes out of nowhere and just blocks the
it gets
dragon in the head.
Deus Ex Machina in the face, except we get a shot of someone with
brilliant red hair.
Flaming red hair.
Or maybe
shooting
shiny red hair.
Ooh,
Oh,
shiny.
Who could it be?
Sure. That's shiny chariot. It's the sensei. Yeah. We find that out in like 2 seconds. I mean, we're not dumb.
So Akko realizes, oh, I should reach within myself. And she does. She screams out, shiny arc. And
sort of. Come on. Like, you can give the real incantation.
I can't read that out loud.
What? Why not? Because it's embarrassingly dumb?
Yes.
I mean, that's fair. Okay, so I believe in myself. Here we go. The 7 sisters shine up, because that's what they do. Mercurial.
There you go.
Mactorial. And then it calls forth the bow of light in a sweet transformation scene, which is awesome.
It like morphs all over her hand. It's pretty great.
And then she shiny arcs this thing to death.
Poor
in
dragon.
Much the same way, just like the big dopey dragon at the beginning. Also, the dragon realizing it's dead is really great. He's like, oh no.
Maybe I've done goof.
Oh, this is happening.
It's like,
and then it explodes into fireworks.
Sad dragon.
And you see in the reflection of Akko's eyes, the fireworks of the dragon exploding. Just like how at the beginning, we saw in her eyes, the fireworks of the dragon exploding.
What? Callbacks.
It's almost like they know how to put together a film.
But then immediately she's like, oh wait, I'm still falling to my death.
I'm still falling to my death. This is bad.
But she's rescued at the last moment by Diana.
The tsundere.
Look at that.
Her tsundere best friend, Diana.
She's like, don't thank me. I'm just here to evacuate students. I don't know what you're talking about. Diana's like, hey, wait a minute. How'd you know how to use shiny arc? That was pretty impressive.
And she just is like, hey, wait a minute. How do you know what shiny arc is? She's like, well, shut up.
I heard it somewhere, I think.
Somewhere, shut up.
She's like, wait, are you a fan of Shiny Chariot? No. Only stupid people would be fans of Shut
stupid dumb
up.
babies. Only stupid dumb babies would dump babe. Shut up.
Yeah, then why are you blushing? No, I'm not. Shut up.
You're dumb.
And then Sensei is clearly not transforming her hair back blue. It's clearly not.
Super not happening. Don't worry about it. Shush.
But then we get shots
Either way,
of
Sensei's very happy.
Sushi helping Lotte out of the tower. All the witches are coming up, and
we see C-3PO and R2-D2, and Chewbacca growls as they all get medals.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's that scene.
And then we end with all these amazing background matte paintings.
All these little witches.
That were only used for these shots, and they're great.
Yes, they're very good. As we see the tower and the magic stone reclaiming all of the magic that the dragon had et. And then we get credits, and then Netflix asks me if I want to watch Fuller House or some other way worse animation like King Louie's Jungle Friends. And it's like, why?
Yes.
Why would you think that is the correct thing for me to see after this? Like, oh, yes, I love great animation. Yes, I want to watch King Louie's Amazing Jungle Friends.
It sounds
I want to see
comparable.
really bad CGI lemurs. That will be just as good.
Yeah, it'll be about the same. So this show is phenomenal.
Why are you not watching this right now instead of listening to us?
Really? Because it's basically like an entire Disney movie distilled into 26 minutes.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no.
It's fantastic.
It's super good.
And I think one of the best parts is it's a show that's short.
I'm sorry. It's called...
What?
The show recommending me is All Hail King Julian Exiled. DreamWorks based off of Madagascar. Because, of course, it hates me.
Well, I was going to say...
At least it's not recommending Johnny Test. That would be terrible. It's like a condensed Disney film in 26 minutes.
Yeah, but it's also, for an anime, it's marketed... The whole story is marketed directly towards young girls.
And everyone.
And everyone, but, mostly
it's a very everyone show.
For young girls, which is weird because normally with anime in particular, shows for girls are magical girl shows, and that's it.
Yeah.
Precure. Sailor Moon.
Hey, Precure is still on the air, and Precure makes a lot of money.
Sure it does.
And Precure's pretty good.
That's for like really young kids. This one's like for 10, 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in there.
Anyway, it's hyper adorable, and go watch it.
And
like, come on.
Even if you don't like the genre, it's essentially a masterclass in short form storytelling.
Yeah, buddy, it is.
Every scene is, this is how you do this. Why can't more shows take notes?
It doesn't have anything extra. It knows exactly like how to cut everything out that is not needed.
I have watched so many 26 episode shows that had less character development than this.
Less character. than this. But yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. So
And next week we should watch the movie if you think we can.
we could do that.
Because I mean, come on, like witches.
It is more witches. All the witches.
And I do like witches a lot. What's that other witch show I really liked? Is it just like Little Witch or something? What is it?
Flying Witch.
It's on Flying Witch. She's a witch. She flies.
She also plays golf, I think.
I think she might. She's a witch and she flies and she talks about herbs and mandrakes and it's adorable.
Is the second episode of Little Witch Academia also on Netflix?
As in, the film? Yeah, the movie's out. What is it? The Enchanted Parade? Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, so before next week, go watch that. And then
we will
break it down for you.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about how it's really good. Because guess what? Guess what, y'all? It's really good.
It is really good.
I've only seen it once, unlike this, where I saw it like 3 or 4 times before today. But I will happily watch it again.
Yep, definitely worthwhile. We have that to look forward to.
I mean, I guess we can do the best, worst, and all that fun stuff again.
If you want to, I guess.
The best is all of it. The worst is none of it. And the MVP is
Sushi.
Flame Spirit.
I'd say
okay,
Sushi.
Sushi. You're right. It's Sushi. Or Susie. It's spelled Sucy, but it's hard to tell if they mean Susie.
Because they can't Japanese. Say Susie.
But then again, like they should have a real translation, so it should be Sushi, I guess. But I don't know. It's impossible.
Well, they don't have a G
sometimes.
sound. They have G.
Yeah.
But they would be Suji. But they have a she sound, so they say Sushi.
Yeah, but is it Suzy or is it Susie? It's very impossible.
It's weird.
It's very
Why'd
bad.
they pick
I think we
hard to
get
pronounce name like that?
Oh wait, no. Because in the TV show we get some heritage of these folks, and I think she is Filipino.
She is, yeah.
So I think that actually works out as a real Filipino name of some sort or
probably.
another. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Because I know when the show was released, everybody went like, "Ooh, this, that, and the other thing about it."
Yeah, but they mostly got that from her broom, actually.
Yeah,
because the broom she had was a Filipino traditional broom.
Yeah,
when she first showed up.
So, yeah, that's all really nifty. Again, more diversity than all of Harry Potter in this one show. And it's like, oh, you did it, guys. You know how to do these things. And also, when we watch the magical parade, we can talk about the little chubby witch who loves food so much.
Oh my goodness. I forgot about those 3.
She's so awesome. So much.
So much food. So many chips.
So many chips. She wants the delicious pop chips from the gym movie.
All right, so watch the Little Witch Academia movie by next week, and we will see you then.
All right. See you next week with a little more Little Witch.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us to leave comments or suggest future silly topics, you can contact us on Facebook or Twitter at Aniki Podcast. Or if you'd like to know more about the show and hear past episodes, check out our website at aniki.fm. See you next time on Aniki.